Okay, now just before you got back, we had already started having a chat with him. I wish you could replay back, but then there's so much to talk about, so maybe we'll just take that part as the first part just for us. But then today we're not just going to have an interview. We don't just have a guest. It's a story of resilience. It's a story of doggedness. I mean, someone who pushed against all odds. Yes, it's becoming cliche, people talk about it, but then, no, this is not just another hackneyed story out there. We're talking to the CIO, CIO, not CEO, CIO of Bruno's Place. It's great to have you on the show, sir.
It's a pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Is this part of your quest?
Okay, that's my Bruno. I'm proud of my name. Bling, bling. But you're asking for a problem. I'm not a dog. My name is Bruno. I'm not a dog.
Okay.
This Bruno is not a dog.
Is that okay? But what? I mean, dog names, Bruno. Yeah, that's
people name their dogs Bruno sometimes, you know.
If you know your
but I'm changing all that now. If you actually flip the word dog, it gives you a god. So I'm a god. A small god.
I like that. Okay, so I'm just thinking about where to start from. But then, okay, let me just start from, why do you call yourself a CIO?
Because I'm not just a hairstylist, you know, but I want to be perceived as a platform for hairstylists, you know, to express themselves. Because the upcoming hairstylists, you know, some of them are just doing as if they were in a wait time. So I see myself as inspiring them, you know, trying to be a role model to them, you know, try to guide them so that they can actually take an ordinary thing and make it extraordinary. I can remember when I first came to Lagos, I saw how ice water moved to pure water, sachet, bottled water. Now all the big companies, you know, they want to do bottled water. The same way that I picked on hairstyling. And I want to, it's an ordinary business, but I want to make it extraordinary. That's what I'm set out to do. So it's a platform for hairstylists to express themselves.
Word. So I see you as an inspiration to all hairstylists out there. So is it wrong for someone to go into the business with the money at the back of his mind? Like, okay, I want to be in this business to make a lot of money.
There's something people out there should know. You know, you see, people don't, what I found out is people don't buy what you say, they buy you first. So if you know how to sell yourself.
Once again, just for my sake and others, sake of others.
You know, I found out that people don't buy what you say, they buy you first.
Okay.
If they buy you first, they will always accept, you know, what you're selling. So the same thing, when I was going into this business, you know, when I as a brand person, well, actually, I also went to a branding school. I prepared myself for this business, you know, and all that. I found out what actually drives this business, controversy, or a banker turned hairstylist and all that. It's something I was going to ride on, you know. If you know how to sell yourself, people will be willing to invest in you. Like when I started Ikeja City Mall, the first initial investment was about 8.1 million naira for 6 months. I can tell you, it's not my money, but it's 100% my business. But it wasn't my money that I used to start it. So if you tell me there is no, you don't have money to set up a business, come, I'll talk to you. I'll tell her to go about it.
I'm actually going to be talking to you after the show, just to make sure I'm number one before any other person talks to you. I'll be talking to you first. Okay, sir.
Ladies first, ladies first.
Okay,
calm down.
no problem.
Seriously, ladies first.
Okay, now, a banker, now you spoke about the brand, a banker turned hairstylist as your catchphrase or something like that. I have friends who who are hairstylists and like, I'm just need to pass time or let me enter school or let's walk home and all of that. But then you leaving the profession of a banker. Did you always want to hairstyle before you started the banking industry?
But I could remember those days, you know, when I was young. I used to barb myself. But it's like, don't want to say it's because of that I'm a hairstylist today, you know. Okay. Because I found that, you know, there's so many people out there, you know, they have skills, you know. And let me put it this way, there are 3 major things, you know, pillars that you need to have, you know, whether in business or relationship. You must have a purpose, you must have a skill, you know. Then the other one, I'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
But I've tried these other 2, you know, skills, you know, I can write, I can do a lot of things, you know, and all that. It was right naturally coming into the banking industry. Then purpose, you know, because I believe one purpose everybody has in life is to glorify God and edify men, you know. So you look for how you can go, whether you use your skill to push it But one thing that I've not tried, because I tried all these ones, tried to do this through church, I was not making any headway, because the truth is that they saw my gift, my talent, but what they were offering me was not enough to take care of me. Then my skill, I tried to use it in the banking industry, I was making money, but the satisfaction was not there. And I was wondering, I was earning $500,000 in a month, and it's like, no satisfaction. Do you understand? I was wondering, how can I put my skill, my purpose to work, Then I get the satisfaction that I wanted, But I found out there's one major thing that was lacking, and I'll give it to God. God actually opened my eye to see. God told me you needed a platform. Platform is the main thing, is the principal thing. If you have the right platform, all you need to do is just put your purpose and your skill to work. A lot of people are struggling. I have skill, Okay, I have a purpose, but it's not working. But just get the right platform. You say, what it took a lot of salon to do, at Bruno's place, is not up to 2 years, but it's the most talked about salon in town because I have the right platform. Bruno's place is the first salon in the mall in this country. So I'm taking advantage of that.
Before the salon came up in the mall, how were you doing your business?
Okay, I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear this. I was actually sacked in the bank for the first time when I was in Prudent Bank after 5 years. So
you know that look on his face? We had an argument earlier.
I had a little argument. Actually, my sister, my mom retired as a branch manager in the bank, so I knew a little bit about my sister also used to work in the bank. A little bit. And most of the times, banks tend to drop people for little things. And then I was like, when someone says they leave the bank, I know a number of my friends or people that have left the bank and they tell you, oh, I left the bank, but they were sacked. Okay, let's just go back to what you said.
Okay, I was actually asked to resign. I will say this because there was a colleague that was asked to resign and died the next day.
Oh.
For me, it's a big testimony. It's something that I'm emotional about, There are some colleagues, not one or two, they were asked to resign, they died, But see, God just gave me the grace, to pick up something that's ordinary, I can remember when I was asked to resign. It was actually maybe about 2 weeks to my wedding, and everything was ready. And it was shocking. I was not prepared for it. I can remember I had to sell my BMW, and I went with my E-Class. I had a Mercedes-Benz E-Class. I was using weekend, so I took it. I went there, and nobody knew. So immediately I came back from the wedding. I told my wife, look, I wanted to do something, that would be giving me money on a daily basis. But the truth, I didn't know any jacket by the trade. It was like set up a barbering salon, And I sold my E-Class, and I started a barbering salon. But I didn't know anything about it. But I wanted something that would be giving money on a daily basis. That's how it actually started. And I started it, and I got stylists. Stylists are very mobile.
Yeah.
If they know exactly, they know that you don't know anything about it.
Take your
play with you. And that was exactly what happened. Then what I did was to resolve that problem was to get a private teacher who started teaching me, how to barb, how to do hair, female hair and all that. And I actually did that for a whole 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
One very
so
long
I knew
year.
how to braid, twist, I know how to retouch, I know how to do DD, everything, all the basic. I could remember in the night, very funny, I'll wake up, I'll on my diesel generator, I'll put a mannequin in between my legs, and I will, be practicing how to weave. My wife would just look at me like this. It's like she was used to seeing me tie designer suits, shoes, and all that. Now you're learning how to do hair, middle of the night. She just said, you are crazy. I say, yes, I'm crazy.
Okay, before we've got so engrossed, you can call in and talk to Bruno. The numbers to call in 08091222283. It's okay for you. Let's continue.
So when I was ready now, to say, okay, fine, I want to fix the business. But meanwhile, my wife was not really happy. She didn't really like it, She wanted me to go back to the bank and all that. Then they called me back to the banking industry.
Wow.
Okay.
And because they discovered that, okay, fine, I didn't do anything for me to have been sacked in the first place. But to compensate me, I left as an ABO. So when I was coming back, my mates were now assistant manager. So they just gave me an assistant manager. You know, it was like almost like ABO, almost like 4 steps.
4 steps. Wow.
As an ABO, I was earning 2.3 million. As an assistant manager, it was 7 million per 1 year.
Yearly. Wow. Okay,
Yearly.
Okay.
So it was. I had to take it, you know. But from day one, I planned my exit.
Okay.
I planned my exit from day one. Or when you work in the bank, they give you all kinds of money. If I'm going for my vacation, I should get at least 1.2 million naira.
I like
Instead of me to travel abroad,
I mean, the way you give me figures, man. I like talking to you. I made this money.
Instead of me to travel abroad, like my colleagues were doing, you know, that was when I looked for Bobby, somebody that would teach me more. You know how it is when you're going to get married. They said, who are your parents? Where are you from? So the person that taught me, it was not the kind of person that I would say, oh, this is the person that taught me. I wanted somebody who is big in industry, somebody that I could, you know, I could ride on his wings. So I searched and I discovered Bobby's signatures. So that's how I met Bobby.
Okay.
You know, at this time I was called back to the banking industry. So I was ready to invest all my time, my money, my energy, you know. So instead of me traveling abroad, I'll use my weekends, my vacation, my off days, public holidays, I was going to Bobby's.
Wow.
And it's like people were wondering, who is this guy? What are you? You know, and all that. But Bobby did something very good for me, you know. He made sure that all the stylists, I was doing like one week with each and every one of them.
Wow.
One week, each one of them. And when I was there, really, because before I come in there, I knew the basics. But I wanted to study him as a person. You know, what's so special about this guy? You know, and all that. You know, I studied him for 3 good years while working in the banking industry.
Wow, 3 years. Man.
Are you thinking about being also? really.
Wow.
I could.
I could consider that because you are giving me another line of business.
I think that it's going to be selfish of you to keep this to yourself.
Yeah.
Every other person needs to read this in an expanded form and get right. But then you've after when you finally left.
Okay.
When you finally left the banking practice and decided to go, was it then you immediately set up Bruno's?
No, just to cut the long story short, you know, when I was leaving the banking now, I had enough money to set up a small salon.
Okay.
You know, like maybe like 1.5 million to set up that kind of salon, you know, and all that. But God said, no, don't. You know, there's a God factor in business, you know. But God said, don't. You know, why don't you go back to Bobby's and partner with him and test run your ideas? So that's how I came back, you know, I partnered with him. You know, by the time I met him, he was just in Allen.
Okay.
So I gave him an idea, you know, and I said, okay, let's look for salons that are not doing very well. We just take your name and some of your boys. I will go and run the place, you know, and set it up and all that. It was a 50-50 arrangement. So we did Magode was successful, we did the money was successful. But after a while, I don't want to go into that, you know, I had to pull out, you know. Then I was not wanted to create a niche for myself. I was looking for a place where you don't have salon at all. You know, it's like salon business, I'm not the one that started it, I'm not the one that innovated it, but I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to take a salon to a place where, you know, it's not been done. So I went to the Palms, then there was no salon there. I went to Keja City Mall, there was no salon. The Soul Lady, there was no salon. And it's like, and I asked questions, said no more, you know, in this country with a salon. It was, and after coming back, you know, I look at the kind of people, my target market, the people I really want to do business with, they go to the mall. You know, people who are aspiring to be rich, people who cannot afford to travel abroad all the time, but when they go to the mall, they want to take selfie, they want to have their hair done, and all that. It was the right opportunity for me. But the truth is that the mall is very expensive.
It was
very expensive. Very expensive to get a shop in the mall. But it's like, what I did first was to get a small, I got a big, that was a big shop, you know, where they sell hair product. You know, I approached them, I told them, you know, gave them my story and all that. So they gave me a 14 square meter space for me to set up a salon. Wow. Within 3 months, the MD of the place noticed me because we were pulling crowds. People were coming, you know, and all that, you know. People were coming. Then, and they asked me what I wanted, and I told them. So I got a bigger space, a 65 square meter space, right beside Silverbird Cinema. Then within 3 months together, they came to ask me, do you need a bigger space?
Whoa, whoa.
So far, it's been fun, it's been wonderful, you know. But there are principles, you know, behind everything, you know. Like I said, getting the right platform. Once you have the right platform, put your skill, put your purpose, you know, to work. I worked in the financial industry for about 12 years. Nobody knew me. Now I'm in the hair business. I've never done up to 2 years professionally at Bruno's place, you know. But this is the most talked about salon. You know, sometimes, you know, God can take something that is ordinary, something that is foolish, you know, and use it to confront the wise.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. That's what
Testimony
I
of the month. Testimony of the month.
We
for
could have
me.
an hour show with Bruno, but then, you know, time is not always, it's never on our side. Okay, so let's just round up with this. 5 years from now, in the nearest future, what do you see, where do you see Bruno's place?
Bruno's place. Okay, right now we have done, my target is to have Bruno's place in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to start with. Now we have done Lagos successfully. There's a mall coming up in Abuja, Jabi Lake Mall. It's going to be the second largest mall in West Africa. We're already in there. We are opening officially in October.
Wow.
So by October, we have Bruno's in Abuja. Then we'll have Port Harcourt. Then before, I'll now come back to Lagos to start doing branches. But what I'm going to be doing branches is going to be on franchise. But the 3 major ones I want to own is Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt.
So
it's very strategic for me.
Apart from the business, what about sharing your gifts to young people?
We've started.
Okay.
This is part of it.
Don't
This is
worry,
a platform. I'm
we
taking
have to
advantage of it.
We have to round it up because I need to really get more from you. Okay, but how do people get in contact with you? Social media and all of that?
I'm very accessible. It's like for consistency. My name is Bruno Oaikhinan. Just Google my name, Bruno Oaikhinan.
Oaikhinan, please.
BRUNO OAIKHINAN. If you just Google my name, I'm very active online. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay.
Can't miss it.
All right, thank you so very much. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Same, I'm happy.
Great.
I'm happy
It's
to
been
be
great.
here. You know. Thanks for inviting me.
I knew when I woke up this morning, today was going to be a great day.
Come on, seriously.
Good.
Wow,
It had to be. I
awesome.
mean, what better way to start your week? What better way to start your month than to sit down at the feet of someone who has, against all odds, succeeded at his trade? Come on, man. It's been great having you on the show, sir. All right. So that has been the Breakfast Show on R2 TV. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the show. So go out there, have a good week, a good month, and we'll see you on tomorrow.